Okay folks, here we go again. Right, first of all I must start off by apologising for the state of the last video. My production values are not all that great at the best of times, but the last one was a bit beyond the pale, given the general darkness of it. So as I say, I do apologise for that. I could have done one or two things. I could have stopped shooting it when it got so dark, or I could have reshot it, but that would have presented its own problems. So there we are. We're stuck with it. I mean, today it's not that great. I mean, I'm shooting it a bit earlier than I normally do. It's not that great outside, but at least you can see me. So hopefully you'll be able to see what's going on in this video. Okay. My current passion, if you like, is collecting DAW books, which was some books published by an American publisher called DAW, DAW, after the initials of a famous sort of editor and writer and what have you, Donald A. Wollheim in the States. Now, what I particularly like about these books is they're numbered, which is great. B, they've all got these nice yellow spines. The problem is when you buy books that have been exposed to the sun, the spine turns an awful grey colour. I've got a couple of those, but I like to try and make sure I get ones with a nice yellow spine. And of course, most of them are proper first editions because they're first time in paperback, and a lot of them don't get a hardback release. So a lot of them are actual proper first editions. Anyway, we'll get straight into it today, and I'll show you quite a few. I've picked up about 40 of them, so I'll just whiz through and I won't talk too much about each. Right, that is the very first book, number 1. Spell of the Witch World, Andre Norton. Another joy about these is I think they're all first printings, which is always good for collectors. So, right, that's number 1. Now this one, Century the Mannequin. I'm doing this in number order. This one is actually signed by the author, E.C. Tubb there. I have another old book signed by him, so he must have done a lot of signing, that fella. But these early ones, as I said last time, they're all nice cover art. As I say, these are all in spot on condition. I mean, it probably cost me about $5 each, but if you buy them singly, I mean, they're become quite collectible now. I mean, if you buy them singly online, you've got to pay, $2, and if they're really thick, sometimes £4 postage. So, I mean, the whole 40 of these only cost me about £7 odd to get posted. So, it's a big saving on buying them in bits and pieces. Anyway, that is Philip Jose Farmer. Nice cover there. So the first couple of 100 all had great covers, and then they kind of went a bit more modern, if you like. That's the only word to describe it. It's a bit less interesting. So, don't know that chap. Where were you last blew today? But interesting cover. A lot of these by the foreign authors might have had a first publication outside of America, but I say by and large they're all proper first editions. He's quite well known. That one's a little bit off colour, but quite acceptable. I mainly in the beginning I was only intending on buying collecting the first 100, but when I got the opportunity to buy a load, I decided just to go for it. So these first few you're seeing are all within the first 100. That's the one that's quite desired by a lot of collectors. Doesn't come up very often at a decent price anyway. a slight fading on the spine, but nothing nothing that you'd worry about. There's one of the authors who writes some weird stuff, Robert Sheckley. It's number 99, so that's the last in the first 100 that I mentioned. Strange cover. Okay. Right, now we move into there's not many between 100 and 199. That's one of them, the second book of Fritz Leiber. So all these are in lovely condition, unbroken spines, nice and yellow. So I didn't mind paying for them. Right, that's the first of the Daedalus mission books by Stableford. I think I've got them all in this lot, but maybe all but one, which I already had. But, yeah. This is one that collectors like. It's an anthology of Cthulhu stories. Another one you don't see come up quite as often as the rest. I mean, a few people I've seen on YouTube videos seem to be under the impression that these are plentiful online at very low prices. Well, I can assure you that isn't the case. That's another one of the Daedalus books. I mean, you're lucky to get one for less than £3. And as I say, you've got a couple of quid postage on top of that. Another of the Daedalus. Nice cover, that one. And, yeah, these are the best ofs. I did an annual best of. The first one was 1972. And I went right through till 80 odd. Hard to find, actually. I've only got a couple in here. But yeah, pleased with that one. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. The world's best. It was 1978. One of the middling ones. Okay. We're into the 200s here, so another one of the Daedalus. It's a series as well. It's the John Grimes series by Bertrand Chandler. Let's go. You see this one a lot online. It's either, you either see it a lot of the same blokes trying to sell it and not being able to. I think he's charging £4 plus postage. So there you go. That's an example of paying singly for them. Save and vote. But to say that the covers start to get a bit more. Trying to think of the word. Can't. Another one of the John Grimes stories, I think. Alright, that's another one of the Daedalus missions. 5. Quite a nice cover. And yeah, these are the ones that sometimes are a bit tricky to find. The Jack Vance one's a very popular author. I've seen some high prices for some of his books. So for a £5, that was a decent buy. The Face, and around about what number is this? Yeah, late through. We're getting towards the 400s now. A lot of these are going to be fantasy books. That's when fantasy took hold about this time, and many of them are fantasy books. Right, so we move to the latter part of the 300, another Jack and Vance. Not seen that one too often online, so probably another good one to have. 5 gold bands. And then we have, this is a very long series, the Dre Prescott books. Alan Burt Akers, it's a pseudonym for Kenneth Bulmer, or one of those. I know E.C. Tubb did a lot of these under a pseudonym, but I know Kenneth Bulmer did as well. Right, that's another one of the annual World's Best stuff. I mean, they're quite thick, these. You can see what lovely condition these are in. I mean, that's a bright yellow spine and there's no break in it. It hadn't been red. I mean, as I said in the past, when I buy old books, I'm not too fussy about condition, because that's how I used to buy them in the old days from second-hand bookshops. So it's like a nostalgia thing. But with these, because I'm getting a big collection and they look lovely on the shelves, it's nice to have them in that sort of condition. I mean, I've got them all together in one lump, so they look great. Right, there's a Lynn Carter anthology there. Lost Worlds. Yeah, generic's the word I was looking for when a lot of these later covers are generic as opposed to the earlier ones, which were more interesting, by people like Kelly Freese and Jack Gorn and people like this, Josh Kirby in particular, Pierre Barbet. Right, this is this one I've read. That's a massive book. I read that as part of my Hugo project and didn't like it at all. So I can chuck me out a copy in the doubles pile now, because I've now got a DAW version of it, which I'd rather have, of course. Right, this is C.J. Cherry again. She did quite a lot of books for DAW. Won a couple of awards for science fiction. Hugo's, what have you. Right, here's another massive tome. Marion Zimmer Bradley, she did quite a few for DAW. It's a Darkover novel. I was surprised to find out how many of these Darkover novels there are, actually. And then that's the last Jack Vance I got. That's a lovely one, that. And that's not a generic cover, that's really nice. Harking back to the early artwork. There again, it's one I haven't seen online, so nice one to have. Right, then we have Savages of Gore. This was a long series. Yearly, as you can see there. It's a 1982 version, part of the series. So lovely condition. Well placed. This one was a bit more expensive, but as I say, they averaged out about $5 each, just under. So lovely unbroken spine there. Yeah. And another Lynn Carter. Lynn Carter did a lot of series Green Star and Eric Carstairs series, which I missed actually. I had a chance to buy them all and missed them online. As you can see, a lot of it's fantasy oriented now, which not my favourite genre, but it's the 1983 Gore. He likes to write, this fella. Wow. Right, last couple. Zen Gun, Barrett Bailey. Not seen that one around too often. And last last few here. 10 3, another Fantasy, and a Curio and a Kyle, whatever. And another Fantasy, Richard Patil. Not familiar. You see where they the banner changed to white very briefly for a few issues. Don't know why that was. And actually marked it as Fantasy up in the corner there. And then this one is there were 580 of these yellow spines, and this is actually the last but one. 579. Scanner Darkly. I already have a copy. An American Del Rey, I think, copy of that, but I should be keeping both. Interesting colour. Right, so yeah, there's a nice little tribute to Philip Dick, of course, who died in 1982. Right, gang, so that is that's my little collection of DAWs that I recently bought. I have around 190 of these now. As I say, there's there's 580. So about a third of the way through, yeah. 190, 5 3s, 570. So I'm almost a third of the way through the DAW collection. It's going to take a long time. Okay, thanks thanks very much for watching as usual. Don't know what's up next, so keep subscribing, keep sending me comments. Don't get many, not enough, and share if you can. And I will see you very soon. Bye bye now.